Hi, Shraddha.
Hi, am I audible? Like, am I clearly audible?
Yes, you're audible. You even want to check your video, you can switch it
Yeah.
on.
Shraddha.
Hi, Shraddha.
Hi. Just trying to start my video. Just hold on. Okay, it says that the host has stopped the video, so I cannot start the video.
Wait a minute. Just Ajay.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
try now?
No,
Video of Shraddha.
Yes.
Shraddha, can you try now?
yes. Am I like? Is my
Yeah.
video seen?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah,
Shraddha.
visible.
Hi.
Hi.
So, Shraddha, even Komal is there. If Komal, you are there. You can-
Hi, Komal.
Hi, Shraddha. Nice to see you.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
So after college, you are meeting each other, or you have met in between?
Not met at all.
No, not met.
Okay.
So both of them should find for the outcoming for alumni meet.
I know.
Yeah,
We have Garima ma'am with us. She'll be opening a session for us. We also have Sagar sir. I'm sure you must be knowing Sagar.
Hello.
Shraddha.
Yeah.
In
Hi.
case-
Hi, everyone. I mean, I can just see very few recognized faces. I mean, hardly any apart from few.
Yeah. So let's.
The session will be a webinar kind of thing. So there will be students will be attending in the attendees mode. They can listen us, and if they have any doubt, they can raise the hand, and we can allow them to talk. And the queries will be discussed in the Q&A box, and they have the chat open for them. So
Okay.
we will have that discussion kind of thing. Ma'am, Anjali ma'am will take ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, could you just let me know, like, how can I get the view where I could see the participants, or there are just like few participants there?
So,
Actually, it's a webinar kind of thing. So we can just see them in the list, the participant list. We can't
Okay.
see them. The video is disabled for them.
Okay. So it's not like the typical
It's
Zoom video that is. Okay, I was like,
yeah.
all right.
It's a webinar.
I
not
thought
a
that
meeting
probably
mode.
there are some settings that I'll have to do and I'm not able to see. All right. Got it.
No.
Got it.
That is the webinar kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
fair enough. So I think we all are good to go at 6:30. Garima ma'am will give us the green signal and we'll start. Yeah.
Okay.
Recording.
Hi, Sagar.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good evening, Anjali.
Hi, good evening, ma'am. Shraddha and Komal, we also have Vaishali ma'am with us.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Shraddha.
She's kind of heading all the initiatives which we do, and Garima ma'am also heads the same. So they both are there, yeah. And we'll also see if sir is coming and taking a break there, yeah.
I think Dr. Prasad also joined.
Yes, he has also joined.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I'm sure Shraddha and Pumi both know Prasad, sir, right? He's the dean for the program.
Yeah, good evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. We have interacted, I think, on WhatsApp multiple times, and I have spoken to Komal multiple times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for being here for this session.
Thank you for giving us the opportunities.
Yeah, nice to have two alumni and entrepreneurs from healthcare programs. So it is very exciting for me as well.
Thank you so much for having us here. Like, I think the pleasure is all ours to be a part of this discussion.
So I think this may be broadcast, so I'll just keep quiet and wait for the session to start. Look forward to hearing about your journey.
Yes.
Good evening, Dr. Garima.
Good evening, Dr. Vaishali. A minute to go and then we'll start the session.
Sure.
Yes. I guess we can. Good to go.
Yeah. Good evening and a warm welcome to all deans, program heads, students, and most importantly, our guests, alumni, entrepreneurs, Ms. Komal Kadaba and Ms. Shraddha Verma. Delighted to have you here. So before we begin our session in the right earnest, a bit about World Entrepreneurship Day, which we have been celebrating from 21st August to 24th August. So 21st August, we started with certain competitions and certain events such as poster competition, writing of essays, case studies on anything under the umbrella of which comes under the umbrella of innovation and entrepreneurship. Today being the last day, the World Entrepreneurship Day celebrations has reached a crescendo, and we have two of our successful entrepreneurs here, and delighted to share a little bit about their profile so that everybody is aware of their achievements and attainments. So let me talk about Komal Kadaba first, a co-founder of Nutrizy. She's an alumnus of the MBA healthcare program of WeSchool, and she's been the council member for Viki Maharashtra. She's a first generation entrepreneur. Along with her mother, Sukesha Kadaba drives Nutrizy. It's a young brand that's focused on bringing healthy and nutritious products to the society. Komal and her mother Sukesha both believe in empowering women, and hence Nutrizy is a 98% women-led organization. In its 5 years, the young brand has made huge strides. It's made up of young, passionate women working towards improving the snacking habits with their huge range of healthy food products. Welcome, Komal.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. We also have with us Shraddha Verma, Ms. Shraddha Verma, co-founder of Open Growth Media Private Limited, and she's the director also at Open Growth Media Private Limited. A creative thinker, ambitious entrepreneur, and experienced marketer, a passionate orator and humanist. She has a vision to empower women and nurture future leaders through the power of creativity and storytelling. Fusia is her initiative in the space of social entrepreneurship to empower women leaders of tomorrow through fusion of culture and ideas. So it's a global talent showcase platform for all individuals to encourage creative expressions, collaboration, and connectivity. May I now invite Dr. Anjali Kumar to moderate the session. So over to you, Dr. Anjali. I hand the
Garima,
virtual mic over to you.
Is there?
Dr.
We are
Salunke sir
privileged to
also
have our group director, Dr. Salunke. Honored to have you, sir. And we would request you to share your thoughts. Yeah.
I was listening to the great achievements of Komal and Shraddha. So Komal, Shraddha, congratulations
Thank you so
for
much.
achieving
so much,
for achieving such a great heights. And all your nutritious food, I believe, if you remember, Komal, we did discuss.
Yes, sir.
And I always felt, that short-term pain is long-term gain with respect to food habits goes.
True.
And maybe I think we love to be in McD's and all kind of chains.
Absolutely.
But I'm sure, I think you also probably doing wonderful job, and equally true with Shraddha. And thanks to your families for kind of, taking this lead and going ahead. Now, one of the good part which is happening, the entire IIC team of WeSchool, the team is doing fabulous job. They're kind of, encouraging students to be in startup mode, entrepreneurial mode substantially. During your days also it was there. It's not the case that it was not there.
Right.
But I'm sure today it is far better, definitely. So once again, congratulations. Thank you very much. I don't wish to take much of your time, but you spend your time and being with our young, dynamic kind of batch of WeSchool. That's really nice. Over to you guys. Please take it over.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing
Thank
your
you,
thoughts
pleasure.
and encouraging us and making time available from your busy schedule. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Bye-bye. Take care. Take care.
Over to you, Dr. Anjali.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So to start with, Komal and Shraddha both are from our 2013-15 batch of PGDM Healthcare. So welcome both of you. To start with, I want to ask both of you to just give a little more glimpse about your ventures, how it is in a brief manner, so that it's better for everyone to understand where you are currently and what work you are doing. So either of you can start. Maybe Komal, you start, and then Shraddha, you take it over.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Yeah, I would like to start by telling that Nutrizi, as the brand name suggests, Nutrition Made Easy, was born when I was studying in Wellinker. That was the concept stage when I was in Wellinker. And with the backing of my professors from healthcare, I decided to launch this venture after I graduated from Wellinker. And our Nutrizi as a brand is focused on bringing healthy snacking products to the society. It's trying to kind of solve the pain point of our day-to-day eating habits. You end up eating unhealthy food in between lectures or in between meetings or on your day-to-day basis. So Nutrizi here brings in the solution of bringing healthy snacks that are on the go. And I think I started from Wellinker, and now it's been 4.5 years into this. We started with e-commerce, but we're now also into retail. So hoping to, bring more and more healthy snacking products to the society. And to all these students in Wellinker, I would love to say that, eating healthy should be your motto because that makes you study better. And also your mindset is more, in a holistic manner, you can study and also, consume these healthy products. So definitely this is in short about me, ma'am.
Thanks, Komal. Shraddha, over to you.
Yeah, sure. And I think it was very interesting to see how Nutrezi has grown. I mean, I still remember how we were, looking at Komal's project during the Wellinker's time. So, great to see here. Great to see you here, Komal. For me, I think it was my entire journey has been very serendipitous. Although I'll say that my platform, Fusia, it came from the word of fusion. And the reason why we termed this as Fusia is because we wanted to create something which includes the fusion of cultures and ideas. And that's how we coined the term as Fusia. This platform is majorly a social online media platform, which serves as a virtual stage for individuals and especially women to showcase their talents, to pursue their passion and be fearlessly expressive in their own ways. The reason why we thought of this platform is again a simple thought that in different parts of the countries, not just in India, but various parts of the globes, we still see a lot of hesitation in women, especially women. And of course, apart from women, there are other individuals who obviously have their own restrictions, their cultural barriers, family restrictions. And that's where we figured out why not create a virtual space for individuals to not only showcase their talents and pursue their passion, but also a place where they can connect with individuals sharing similar passions, learn from them, hone their skill sets, and finally become fearless and independent to build their own identity. This is what gave rise to the platform of Fuchsia, especially revolving around the concept of women empowerment and harnessing the power of social media, because millennials, Gen Z, they are all around the power of social media, and why not harness the power of the internet and driving empowerment through the power of creativity, inspiration, and empathy, because that's how we would be able to influence each other, inspire each other, and let them grow. With this vision, we created this platform so that people can come here, showcase their ideas, network with people, showcase, grow. And today we are a home of almost 5 million creators, experts, professionals on our platform, coming from 35 plus different countries. That's the kind of exchange of knowledge and ideas that we are serving right now.
Great, congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir.
So what was the trigger for both of you to kind of become entrepreneurs? You joined an MBA course. Most of your friends were looking at corporate jobs, but you went ahead and became entrepreneurs. So what was that trigger? So we can start from Shraddha and then go to Komal.
Absolutely. So as I said, everything was so serendipitous. I did get a corporate job offer in Hyderabad. And during the same time, I also got an opportunity, where my partners or my co-founders, they were looking for partners. They were looking for co-founders to drive their vision globally. And I was in that dilemma of what to do now, because now that I have a corporate job offer and this entirely different opportunity to lead something from the scratch, I don't have any team members. I have to grow everything. I have to build my own company, build the entire product. I just have like a vision, a paper pencil kind of imagination that was just put in front of me that, okay, this is something that we want to do. And I have to build that up. Encouraging kind of something that was challenging. And I am one of the person who always who does not like monotony. I would like to go through challenges. And this is what made me realize that let's go for it. I mean, risk hai to ishq hai. I really like this dialogue. This is the only reason. I feel now I realize why this makes sense, because this keeps you going. There's not a single day where you feel that you're working. I mean, work doesn't seem like work when you're doing something which is towards a goal, towards a global impact, towards creating a positive influence on people across the globe, where they are knowing you to bring smiles on their faces. And I think eventually that's what led me this trigger point, that why not I do something on my own. I knew that I'm a kind of person who always had a hunch towards equality, gender equality for that matter. And this is my probably the stage where I can translate my thoughts into actions. And that's what encouraged me to take this step.
Komal, how about you? Because we have seen you from college days that you were passionate about becoming.
Absolutely, ma'am. I think the day I joined Wellinker, I would like to share that my brother had started his own venture 6 months before I joined Wellinker. So the major reason for that trigger in me was my brother, because he had his own venture into renewable energy back then. And I saw him go through that process while I was in Wellinker in the 2 years. And this actually came in during the time of our summer internship, when I did apply to a few companies, etc. But then I realized that, I would like to work under my brother and really understand how it is to, be under an entrepreneur and see that whether I'm capable of this. So the major reason was my brother, but there were two other reasons that made me want to become an entrepreneur. Secondly, being, India is a young nation, and it is a nation for startups now. It is known as the next Silicon Valley, Mumbai, Bangalore. So this, this vision that my parents actually told me that, take the risk. If you believe in yourself, I think this is the way to go forward. And that was another reason why, I had that backing from my family. So I never sat for placements. From day one, I had the support from my faculty. I think the healthcare faculty completely, gave me that, to go do what you feel like. And I had that support from them from the start till the end. Even my dissertation project was on, the feasibility study of my own startup, which actually helped me to do a lot of primary and secondary study on what is present today as Nutrizy. So I think these three reasons have really, helped me to, get into this journey of entrepreneurship.
Because we have seen your journey, so it's really nice to see you over here. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Also, let's get into a little bit on the business side. I mean, for Shraddha, your venture was completely new. You said you were starting from scratch. So how did you, how did you test the markets for your product? I mean, whether it's going to work, whether it's not going to work. Was it some similar model present and probably that helped you, or how it began?
To be honest, the answer is that I was blank. Because there were no direct competitors. We were the first to break through to such kind of a concept, creating a platform which is not just like any other social media platform where right now people just look at it as maybe I call it like a show-off platform where people are checking in, showing what they are doing, etc. Whereas I wanted to break this concept of social media, which is a very strong tool, to create something more constructive. And that too, I call it as the showcase platform. The reason why is because you have everything within yourself. You need to have that conviction to show it to the world, present it to the world, and develop connections and conversations through that single thread. So this was missing in the power of social media. And to be honest, there were a lot of indirect competitors. I could see Facebook, Instagram doing something similar in terms of where people are showcasing their stuff, but nothing which was like a direct competition. So this was kind of a new market. I just knew few things. One, my target audience. My target audience was clearly the women, especially the young. So we started with youngsters. And when I say youngsters, they are from the 15 to the 25 years of the age group. So this is what we started with. Now, considering this age group, to consider a small focus group, we have our friends, we have our acquaintances, relatives, etc. So we started off this small, just starting off with, sharing it with our known acquaintances, getting their feedback on what is their first-hand approach when they see such a platform, when they see that this is an opportunity that you're getting. And this is how we gradually tested out, got their feedback, because we were totally blank. And especially the other thing is that apart from me, I had to build my team since I was the only one person looking at it. My partner, who was Ria, she was just 15-year-old then when we started. And hence I was one of the only person looking at everything, because she was looking at me for mentorships. So right from looking at a team member, building my team, to looking at how the functionality should be done. Okay, one more thing that I want to highlight, that now you have to build a tangible product. So now you just have an imagination. Now you need to work with the developers, get a tangible product done. So getting everything done right was very important, which I think it incorporated all the lessons that I had learned during my MBA classes, be it HR, finance, marketing, everything was in practice. And in terms of the target market, yes, we started small with known people, got their feedback, reworked, enhanced, incorporated the feedback, and again expanded it to a bigger version. So that's how we started.
Hey, and Komal, unlike Shraddha, yours was a market which was actually a developed market, right? You were not coming up with something very new. something was already there. You already had competition. So how did you went about testing the entire market and the products?
Yes, ma'am, you're right. The market was not new, but it was very nascent. So the functional food category in India was only about 5 years young when I thought of this concept of, bringing nutrition products, starting with nutrition bars, which was my first product line. So there was just, I think there were like two brands that were there present in India, which were in this category. And they had, I think, almost 100% of the market share back then. So for me, it was more about bringing something different. My product is more, which was the first line was nutrition bars. So the bars that were present in the market were all focused on workout centric, bars. So I did not have direct competition because the range of products that we got were very natural, which could be had by adults as well as children. So it was maybe an indirect competition, but I think these brands actually helped, me to come in the market without thinking too much, because I knew there was a demand for it, but the demand was very, very less. Because even today the pain point is to educate the consumers that eating healthy is important. So market research was, I think I did it for almost 1.5 years after I passed out of Wellinger, and it was basically from concept to commercialization. So the product, what I conceptualized, to formulating it, to having it compliant with the market, was a very, very tough ball game. So this was like the primary study with Wellinger helped me to really understand that, okay, this is the right thing. But yeah, getting it from where it was to where it is now, that process is always a very painful, long process, which I went through. And I had no idea when I passed out that it's going to take me so long to get my concept to the market. And getting it via e-commerce was much simpler because that time I leveraged the point of social media. I had my own page and I tried to put it out to the young audience, which were from youth, like Shraddha mentioned. That was also my target market, because I think you need to start eating healthy at a young age. So we started with that. So yeah, I mean, the market testing was very hard. After I passed out of Wellinger, after the primary research, there was a long, long process of totally bringing to what it is today. So it was different, but it was quite different from Shraddha's. But this is more about the product. So this was also pretty much lengthy and pretty much something which I was doing it for the first time. So it was painful as well.
Some challenges, Komal, which you faced in your venture, because I understand yours is more a regulated market. You need a lot of approvals before you come up with a product in the market. So any challenges which you faced?
Yes, a lot of challenges, ma'am. Like challenges started from day one, to be honest. First thing, like I told you, was product testing, product commercialization. So, being compliant. So the compliant factor when it comes to the food industry is very, very important. Having compliances in our manufacturing facility to having compliances on the product label, what you present to the customers, is very, very important when it comes to a food product. So these compliances, I had to learn it the hard way. See the FSSAI regulations, the FDA regulations. So this was something which I learned through the process, and complying with just not manufacturing, but product compliances in the market, to understanding the weight metrics. So you have to comply with a lot of things when it comes to a food product. It's just not what is seen on the product, but it's also your facility has to be compliant completely. You should be following good manufacturing practices. So I think it was a good thing that I learned in college, that having a lean structure, learning the Japanese terms of Kaizen is what helped me, like continuous improvement. You cannot be the best on day one, but you can keep improving day on day. So I think I think the main factor was compliances, like you said, ma'am.
Hey, Shraddha, what was your challenge? Because yours was where people have to showcase their talent, right? And I don't know how many people actually connect with that kind of concept. So what was your challenges when you started with it?
Absolutely. So as I said, this is something which was, to be honest, I never realized that this can become an actual viable product. The reason why is we tend to ignore these minor things so easily that we don't realize how important they can play a role in our lives. For example, a simple example that I can think of is, LinkedIn. LinkedIn has established its name, as a great platform where people can share their academic and professional portfolio. But what about your talent portfolio? What about your interests? What about your passions? I mean, even today in job interviews, people want to know what are your extracurriculars, what are your hobbies, what are your interest areas. The reason why is because we as employers, tend to look at an aspect which is different from just theoretical. We want to understand how creative the person can be. We want to understand, what kind of open mindset you can have when you are given fresh challenges. And it's not just, and it doesn't come with theoretical knowledge, concepts that are there. In fact, concepts can be learned day in, day out. And this comes only after experience. So this is what I realized, that as simple as showcasing your talents. I mean, we have so many talents within ourselves. How many of us really take, the risk, or not risk, I'll say how many of us really take an effort to show it to others, to, see what their feedback is. How many of us actually work towards improving it? Because we just take it like a casual side thing. Okay, hey, I know something I know. This is like an add-on. So this is where I realized that it's high time that especially women in this matter, because on the platform, when we released it back in 2015 as an actual platform, I saw the maximum traction coming from countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, Morocco, Egypt, Indonesia. And this is where I realized that this is by default, these are the places where women are actually probably not given the actual support that they need. They are not allowed to follow their passions. They are not allowed to pursue their dreams that they want to. And to my astonishment, I saw few countries like US, UK, Australia rising up the charts eventually, which we never expected, because we always think that developed countries are the countries where women are empowered, they know what they do, they are all happy and, all sweet things. But after looking at the kind of audience that we saw, the kind of interactions and engagements that we received, that's when I realized that this is the kind of support, this is the actual core problem that people face, but they are not able to express. So to begin with, when it comes to the challenges, as Komal mentioned, challenges work from day one. And probably my set of challenges would be totally different. One is leading something alone, firstly. The best thing I'll say is at least I had a mentor. And I would suggest that everyone needs to find your mentors. If you don't have a mentor, find one, but surrounding yourself with cheerleaders and surrounding yourself with mentors, have a mentor. This will be utmost important in your entire journey. The second challenging part was building a team, because you need partners with you to grow your business. You need partners with you to criticize you, to motivate you, and to keep you going. This was my initial challenge. Going forward, it became, you have to constantly keep learning. If you think that, okay, padhai khatam ho gaya, now you can just do the work and go ahead, that's not the case. The real world is you need to keep learning. Learning never stops. So you cannot, avoid constant learning. And, I totally agree when the word Kaizen term is there, continuous improvement, because continuous improvement is something you have to work on yourself as well, not just in your company. And another thing that I would want to add is it's not just continuous improvement, it's also continuous listening. And it is important in terms of whether you are marketing a business, a service, or a product. You need to listen to your customers. You need to listen to your audience. So continuous listening and continuous improvement both will play an important role. And this is what, I stumbled upon a couple of times. The challenges was social media, plethora of competition there. How will you sustain yourself? Sustainability is the key. The time when we launched our platform, there were already n number of so many platforms, games, so many Facebooks and Instagrams kind of places there. that the first challenge was, how can I sustain myself? How will you attract audience to yourself? This was the first challenge. So you need to have a clear vision, a clear focus area. The second thing was about, okay, once you have launched it, you have a team, but what about, are you thinking of the future? The challenge was, you cannot just go doing the same things again and again. You need to add freshness. You need to think of innovation and creativity. So constantly innovating your styles, innovating your models was also the challenge. So yeah, and of course the compliances, I realized, because we were a subsidiary of a US company. So when it comes to the legal compliances, the financials, getting yourself registered in India. So these are some of the technical or the legal compliances that you need to look at, and you learn it eventually once you step into it. That's how it is. You can learn only when you are on the grassroots level.
Yeah, so there are so many challenges, Shraddha, you face, and yours was the single woman army kind of a situation, right? What kept you motivated throughout that journey of saying, okay, from this, I need to actually come up and kind of build a entire platform? So what kept you motivated in the entire journey?
My only motivation was like the simple steps of success that I could count as, okay, today my Facebook or my Facebook page received, say, 100 followers. That was like, I used to celebrate that. Okay, good start, first week. Then my members, the Fuchsia website members, when it achieved 1,000 members, actual members and posts and all, I used to celebrate that. Then adding some team members, that okay, now I have a team. Now let's amp up the game. Now we have from one, now we are 3 people, now 5 people, and that too when you have the diversity. Because my team today, we are a team of 45 people coming from countries like not only different places of India, but also have team members from Pakistan, Bangladesh, Morocco, and US. So now this becomes exciting. So I never felt demotivated as such, because every day was so exciting, and every day there were so many new challenges that that's the kind of, I'll say, there's the diversity of challenges, diversity of milestones that we achieved. So yeah, that kept me motivated. And of course the support from my family, my mentor who always kept on giving me the guidance, so that kept me motivated.
Okay. Komal, what about you? I mean, you started your venture with your mother as a partner, right? And she's elder to you, of course. I mean, so were there any conflicts between both of you, or probably while taking decisions? Did you find those things, and what still you said, okay, I want to go ahead and kind of launch it?
Conflicts are there because you have 2 different people, so 2 different mindsets. But my mom has been my backbone. So my mom actually started with making healthy, improvements in our day-to-day life, which has actually triggered me to, come onto this journey with healthy snacking. So she's literally the brain behind Nutrizy, and I am the face of it. So my mom has been my backbone, but we have conflicts only on, suppose, on a product which I feel, couldn't be in the market. But, she kind of backs it up with, okay, these have these benefits. So, this is something which customers would like. So very, very few conflicts, because we both handle 2 different sections of the company. She's more production driven and I'm more market driven. So I think conflicts will always be there, but I think with family, it always settles in and you always come to one solution. So I think it's just one negligible to, even think of.
Either of your businesses, did you have that time when you felt, now I want to give it up? I mean, it's not working anymore. Was there that phase in any one of your business?
I think, ma'am, giving up was never a thing I wanted to ever do. I think, like Shraddha mentioned, that, as an entrepreneur, you need to celebrate small moments. You need to celebrate every small milestone. So my father was actually, the one who'd always help me to celebrate every small milestone that we achieved, right from being an Amazon's choice product, being listed in 40 plus e-commerce portals, to, coming into the retail segment. So a foray in retail with being into now 350 plus stores in Maharashtra. So, little things, if you celebrate them, because as an entrepreneur, you need to be self-driven, self-motivated. And if you have mentors and if you have backing from your family that, really helps you to celebrate each and every success, and even every failure, like every failure is an opportunity, is what my father always told me. So he always said that, anything that brings you down will always push you back up. So I think that kind of helped me to never think on giving up. Obviously, you have those frustration moments when you want to achieve a certain thing in a certain timeline, which you cannot. As an entrepreneur, you just cannot, contemplate like, I will achieve this in this much time. You can always set those milestones, but achieving them is a long process. So I think it's very, very important to motivate yourself, educate yourself, and keep yourself busy thinking that tomorrow you're going to be a better person, tomorrow you're going to bring something better to the market. So I think there it's very important you be self-driven. And I think what is the most important thing is you believe, because there'll be a lot of people who will bring you down. I think initially I was a very emotional person when I came in, and I think criticism always affected me. And if someone would even say a slight thing about my product, I would think a lot. But I think I've grown as a person being in this entrepreneurial journey. And I would like to just tell everyone that, nothing should bring you down. And if you have conviction and if you believe in what you're doing, you will definitely get success. And there is nothing that can bring you down, and nothing should ever tell you that, what, I'm giving up on this, unless it's a failure in the market. So you need to get those signals from the market as well, like, because I think those failures from the market also can be always improved, and you can, bring something better. So I think, yeah, never give up.
Shraddha?
Absolutely. I totally agree that even in my journey, I never had this feeling of giving up. The reason why is I'm a stubborn girl. If I have thought something that I will do, even if it is not working, fine, I'll try it another way, but I will try, because now that I have taken this decision to walk on the entrepreneurial road, there is no point looking back. There can be plan A, plan B, plan C, but the goal still remains the same. So you change your ways of reaching that same goal, right? But you never have to look back. So it's just that your path changes. The other thing is, had I given up, or had I, let failures affect me, it wouldn't have given me the opportunity to celebrate so many milestones and so many improvements that we were able to make. So although we started with fuchsia.com, now I'm at a stage where, we have so many other ventures of Fuchsia that we have launched, right? From not just being in the media sector, that is fuchsia.com, but also entering into the healthcare sector. We have launched Fuchsia Wellness, which is the one-stop healthcare platform for wellness and fitness. We launched in Fuchsia Talent, which is a marketing solutions platform for businesses and startups and entrepreneurs. So where we empower women. And we have the non-profit wing of fuchsia.org. Not just that, we also launched Humans of Fuchsia, which is like a storytelling platform of entrepreneurs, businesses, and inspiring leaders across the globe, so that people can read their stories, watch their interviews, and get inspired. So all these things, gave us ideas, gave us, this was a fruit of the challenges that we faced, the criticism that we received. And this is the results. These are the results that we saw. So yeah, never look back. Yeah, you have just taken the step, change your direction, but never the goal.
Okay, now let's come to the finances, right? Any business can sustain when you have a strong financial backing to that. So how did Fuchsia started with the financing side? I mean, was there
to be honest, so I was pretty lucky, because my partners, they themselves, so it's a bootstrap company, right? So it's a bootstrap company. So my partners who are based in the US, they are serial entrepreneurs as well. So I was kind of lucky where on the finance side, there was not much of a struggle that I faced. Now that we are at a stage of, seeking seed funding and seeking investors, this is where a lot of times people need to understand when is the right time to seek for investors, or when is the right time to seek for seed funding. And the only right answer could be that, only when you have a clear cut direction where you want to use that funds, what is your goal of using that funds, because ultimately investors are interested to see their results, see the returns as well. So you need to be at a stage where the product is a minimal viable product. It's a you know it has shown its results. It is a functional workable product. You have a model ready, and you know how you are going to use their funds that they're going to put in. If you don't have this clarity, then it's not the right time to seek for funding. So once you have this clarity, I say that's the right time that you should seek for funding.
Komal, what about you?
Yeah, like even like Shraddha mentioned, even I was lucky. So our venture is currently bootstrapped, and there was no issue on the finance part of it to start with. But definitely funding and investments, like, it is something which I think there comes a stage in every business where you need to be open to, these opportunities. And I think 4.5 years now, with a large product portfolio, we are going to be open to funding very soon. We have been approached by a couple of investors, but I think another 6 months and we'll be ready to go with it. So it's about knowing the right time, knowing that your product, like Shraddha said, is viable, knowing that your product, you have reached a certain amount of success. You can kind of display that to the sharks, as you call them, or the venture capitalists, because for them it's very important to prove that you have something that is liked by the market, and it is something that has a future. Even if it is seed funding, it is something that they always see that the company has a future of, say, another 10-15 years, and obviously there's more to it. So I think we are going to be really looking forward to the opportunities that are coming into us already, but as of now we're bootstrapped.
Okay. COVID, I mean, it has changed businesses. It has changed how we think and how we operate, right? So how has it affected your businesses? Shraddha, you can go ahead and then.
To be honest, COVID has been the turning point for my business. And when I say the turning point, it's in a good way. The reason why is it was during the COVID times where we saw around 10x times rise in the internet users and social media users. And that's where we saw the rise even in Fusion. We saw so many people coming out of their shells, expressing themselves, because that was the only medium for people to share. So, and suddenly this was this boost of so many things coming up, people sharing and venting out. So when I say my platform has been the platform for people to vent out their emotions. And when I say creative expressions, they are creative expressions in any form. It can be in the form of words, it can be in the form of videos, art, cooking, just sharing your opinions. And this is where a lot of people utilize this platform for. And during COVID, we see a huge boost in people sharing their work. We saw a huge boost in people venting out in different forms of creative expressions. We saw a huge boost so we have a section called as counselors, where we saw so many people just venting out because they feel that just venting out to people who could understand and listen to you would be good enough to make them feel good. And this was one of the turning point which gave us an idea of why not jump into something called as Fusion Wellness, which can be a complete holistic solution for health and wellness, and then give these people a platform where they can be looked at from a 360 degrees perspective. Because when I talk about empowerment, it's not just about superficial empowerment. You need to have some base as to how you are empowering them. So I picked up 6 key things of how we are empowering the individuals. So the first is empowering through expressions, creative expressions. So that's what Fusion.com stood for, where this is a place where you come and just vent out, not to, without the fear of being judged. So that was one thing. Second was empowering through relationships, friendships, and connections, because this is what the exchange of knowledge and ideas is what we wanted to promote through a common thread of similar passions. This was the second. The third was empowerment through health and wellness, because if you don't have the proper health, if you are not fit, if you're not paying attention to your wellness, there is no point of creating so many things, providing so many features, etc., if you're not taking care of yourselves. Hence, health and wellness became an important part of how we can make sure that we are doing our justice when we talk about empowering individuals together. The fourth aspect was around empowerment, economic independence or economic empowerment. Now, the reason why, and this became the part of our revenue model as well. When I say economic empowerment, it was a very simple concept, because we realized that now that we have 4-5 million creative individuals on our platform, who are constantly showcasing their stuff, grooming themselves, and also utilizing the skill development workshops and the expert talks that we are offering them. And eventually we are going to launch a lot of educational courses as well, so that they can keep learning. We realize that now that we have so many talents in our network, why not now we utilize these talents to help the businesses, companies, entrepreneurs, influencers with their marketing needs, with their needs of growing the company to become successful. And that's how we started this Fuchsia Talent, our base, our core revenue model, where we connect the clients or potential clients, like the companies, businesses, entrepreneurs, who require certain kind of needs for growing their business. And we connected these creative individuals on our community to connect them, give them a platform to get work projects, to get freelance projects, to get hired. And that's how we were able to match the right fit of the talents to the companies who need them. And this is what economic empowerment meant. And lastly, it was all about charity and kindness, because ultimately you need to do good for the society. And we launched fuchsia.org, which is all about working together with NGOs and nonprofits to raise funds for them. So yeah, this is what we did.
Omar, how COVID has impacted the entire operations?
Yes, sir. So I would like to share that just before COVID, we got a very nice recognition as Asia's fastest growing brand in the e-commerce segment. So it was something that really made me happy when COVID had just set in. And I did not know that there were so many challenges ahead of this. So we initially we were flooded with a lot of orders. So I think our product is more which is health centric. So it wasn't bad for us initially but the main pain point during COVID for us was logistics, because Maharashtra was, I think, completely a red zone. Logistics was a very, very important point, pain point for us, because we found difficulties in trying to fulfill our orders. Because we definitely got a lot of orders, because everyone out then was sitting online and ordering food, ordering necessities, and our product came as an immunity product. And I would like to also say that it was more as an opportunity to us, because that was when we actually even set foot into retail. And from then, these 2 years until now, like I mentioned, we are in 350 plus stores in Maharashtra, and we've not, it's not been very hard to even let the retail segment know, because this is a product which they want. So thankfully, I think as the pestle factors, the environmental factors which were affected because of COVID benefited us indirectly. But yeah, there were definitely challenges to fulfill them if it was related to e-commerce. But then we tried to, combat that by getting into the retail. So challenges came, but more opportunities came. So it was more as an opportunity. And I think this initially was very hard for everyone on my board to really digest, because they were like, retail is not doing well, shops are shut, we have just few hours. And I would like to say that my star employee, who is from Wellinger, she helped me really get there. She was like a star help. We are a lean team, like I mentioned, but we are like powerful, enthusiastic, young, and we really want to grow. So I think Wellinger has also kind of given me that talent, and I'm very, very happy to, be where I am today. And COVID, I know that it's been bad for all of us, and we've lost a lot of, close family, friends, and other things. But yeah, it has kind of helped us to grow. So I wouldn't want to blame COVID for not growing. So it has been an opportunity for us.
Okay, great. I have my questions, but there are some questions in the chat box and in the Q&A window. Let's take that also. Garima ma'am, that would be okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. So Shahnaz ma'am is asking, she said, super to hear about both of your journeys. Shraddha, this is for you. What is your business model?
Yeah. So in terms of my business model, as I said, that we are still working on a lot of business models. Currently, a major business model that is going is the Future Talent Initiative, where we match the talents from our network, talents from our community, and get the projects from businesses, companies, entrepreneurs, etc., who require some kind of support and help in terms of creative and marketing solutions. So that's how we become a platform for them to look out for the right creative talents. So that's one way. Of course, our target market right now, we have been working with a lot of clients currently. Most of them, we have currently 20 plus clients for whom we are working. Some of them are companies, some of them are influencers, some of them are startup owners. So, but majorly our solutions are around marketing solutions, since our community is so creative. So anything that's around marketing, anything that's around social media, anything that's around content, designs, videos, etc., is what becomes the core focus area. Having said that, the other business model that we have just launched is about Future Wellness. And that's into the health tech sector. It's all about, taking the consultations, booking the consultations, and entering into the health tech sector, helping people identify their health and wellness needs and making it available for them. So these are the two major, and we are still working on a lot. So I did get a lot of opportunities for running it through ads, which is a very common thing, but I was majorly focusing on a business model which is more sustainable rather than something that's very easy, because I know that for a matter of fact, driving revenue through ads is very simple. It won't be a very difficult thing for me. But I would take, we are still taking time to incorporate ads as a part of our revenue model. Yeah.
Okay, great. There is another question from Piyush sir. He's asking some suggestions on how the success rate can be increased. So, Komal, if you want to take this up.
Definitely, ma'am. So success rate comes under many factors. Is it the success rate on the number of orders in terms of our growth, or is it in terms of success individually as a company growing in terms of turnover? So there are many factors where you can, think of success for a company. So I think today, like if it is success for my company, I think the way to go ahead is through online marketing, social media marketing, because for a company that is young and wants to grow, I think your product has to look very good to a customer. So for the way you kind of portray what your product is and the way the customer sees it is how they order it. So the point of, if it is B2C, through an e-commerce, format, then it has to be the face of your brand. The face of your brand has to look good. And, I think along with this comes social media marketing. So sponsored ads, etc. You have to spend a lot on marketing, even if it's online or it's offline. Your success will definitely, be proportional to your marketing and how successfully you're able to carry forward these campaigns. So I think today's world, a company with a digital, presence needs to have social media as one of their main factors to contribute to their success.
Okay, great. We have another question for you, Komal, that, this is from one of the students, I guess, if I'm not wrong. In terms of sales, were you selling on both retail and e-commerce? If yes, what major setbacks did you face in both, and how did you mitigate them?
All right. So it's a great question, I think, and thank you for this question. We started off, like I mentioned, on e-commerce. I had my own website, And I think that was the starting point for me. So the first 2 years, we only focused on e-commerce. For me, the vision back then was to get products directly to the customers, B2C model, business to customer model. So that was like how we started. We wanted to be lean, so we did not want to go into retail. Like, retail is a very, very difficult place to be in, because you have a lot of competition and you have to be having deep pockets. So I think that fear of having those funds in place to be in the retail format, that's why we didn't jump into that immediately. And I think I always wanted to be in retail, because it's always a touch and feel factor that matters even today. Even if online has been growing, I think customers still want to have a look at the product. And then initially the 2 years, I think the challenge was that a lot of people would tell me, okay, you're on Amazon, you're on Flipkart, you're on your own website and all these portals, but you're not in stores. So that always kept hitting me in my mind, that I need to have a presence in the stores. So retail did come in 2 years after being in the e-commerce. And retail, it's completely different. It's really hard to be in retail. I'm not saying it's something easy, and it is very tough to crack any retail format. So we are in both the formats as of now, and happy to be there.
Great. Shraddha, there is a question for you that Reshma ma'am has said that she's liked your website, and it's very impressive. So is there any area which your site would eventually focus on more than all the various offerings which is currently there?
To be honest, my answer would be, it's all about constantly listening to what my audience wants, especially when situations and environments are so dynamic. Nobody predicted COVID. And it was just the need of the hour that we launched a section called as Learning and Development and Fun and Games. Because during COVID, there was so much of anxiety and depression amongst the audience. They needed a place to also feel good, to feel happy, to feel relieved. The Fun and Games section on our platform majorly served that purpose, so that people just can come, vent out, play, stay happy, etc. So I think it's all about listening to what your surrounding is telling you, what the current situation is, the current scenario, what your audience is looking for. The reason why we launched Fuja Wellness is because we realized that most of our audience, especially 90%, coming from, who are women, and that too who are coming from Asian countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, India, Morocco, Indonesia. We realize that these are the people who are not very confident enough to express themselves. They think twice before even, telling a specific sentence or sharing some personal problems or health issues. And counselors was one section which were getting a lot of questions, especially from these people who were as young as, I think the youngest that we had it's 12-year-old, despite knowing the fact that we launched the site focusing on 15-year-olds and above. But I still remember small girls, who were like 12-year-olds, still utilizing the site and, asking questions, posting their drawings and colors and stuff. So I realized that, whatever offerings, whatever we would come up, it will all be based on what my audience are looking for and what the current situation demands.
Yeah, even I think in chat, Dr. Ragni has posted a few questions. Number one is, will you suggest students, because a lot of students want to become entrepreneurs, right? So do you suggest them to kind of take up their entrepreneurial journey when they have joined their MBA management program in the very first year, try out, fail, and kind of, if they succeed, they can take it ahead? And the second question she has asked is, how has your GCL, which is Global Citizen Leadership Program, have helped you in your GCL journeys? We know it has helped Komal because she has taken through in and out the same project. But yes, still, please go ahead and share.
Yeah. So, of course. So, coming first of all, hi Ragini ma'am. Although I cannot see you, but glad to see you here. Secondly, in terms of taking the step on in trying something new and then failing it and then doing it again, I think that's the right thing. It's all about taking the risk. I mean, I know that when we step into our first year of MBA, and this happened with me, I can relate it to myself. I never was someone who was always taking risks. I was the one who was, taking the back seat and, calculating every move and see what's working, what's not, and then taking that step. But I would suggest, like, if, like a message that don't do this. I mean, if you feel something is good, if something is resonating with your values, your, what you feel within yourself, and it has a huge scope in creating an impact. Firstly, don't be afraid in trying it out. I mean, this is the time when you can try it out. So that's one thing. The second is failures. As we have all read everywhere, we have learned that failures help us learn so many things. It's a stepping stone towards success. I mean, that's fine, but I think one of the major aspect is that by failing, you come to know that failing is not at all really bad. I mean, it's just an experience. It's okay to fail. So that feeling, I mean, we are majorly afraid and have that fear of getting failed. I mean, once you experience that, you'll feel that it was nothing. So you have got nothing to lose when you fail. It's just like an add-on experience. And this is what I learned here. In terms of my GCL project, it was in home health care. I still remember. And to be honest, I really enjoyed each and every moment that I spent on that project, working on the GCL, on the home health care service, doing the research. I think one thing that I learned from my GCL project is, you need to have, a deep dive into the concept that you're working for. Until and unless you are 200% convinced about what you're doing, you won't be able to lead it. So whatever area you step into, just make sure that you are aligned towards it and you have your conviction. Even if others don't believe you, fine, let it be. You should be believing in your product. That's it. The rest is then all sorted.
Komal.
Hello, ma'am, and hello, Ragini, ma'am. Thank you for this question, and I think you've been a mentor to me today. I am here because of your help and Anjali ma'am's help and everyone in the healthcare faculty. I would like to say that if you all have watched Shark Tank, there is Kevin O'Leary. He said one thing, that a salary is a drug that they give you to forget your dreams. So if you have a vision, and if you are a student who is joined with a mindset of being an entrepreneur with an idea, why not try it out? Don't look at the fact that you're going to get a corporate job and you're going to lose out on something, because as an entrepreneur, your dream should never get defocused with something that is seeming more tangible right now, because your fellow students might be working for placements, or they might be having getting offer letters with an X amount of salary, but that should not stop your dream. Because as an entrepreneur, I think persistence on your vision and the persistence to earn reap your results is very, very long. So don't look for quick fixes. If you start your journey in Wellinker, I think it's the best time, because you have nothing to lose. Like Shraddha said, you have mentors all around you to help you to get to what you want to. And I think when I and Shraddha were there, I think we had support from our mentors, but we did not have a subject on entrepreneurship. As I was talking to ma'am today morning, she was asking me, did you have? I said, no, we did not have, but I think the support was enough for us to get us where we are today. So yes, I think if you want to be an entrepreneur, I think students who are listening to us today, do not think twice, but yes, have a tangible idea, do a feasibility study, and work towards your results. And I don't think you need to look back then.
Thanks, Komal. And we have started with an entrepreneurship subject for healthcare students, I think just after your batch. So we do have that subject. I think we have finished well on time. And Garima ma'am, over to you to kind of wrap up the entire session, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Anjali, for moderating the session. And more importantly, thank you, Shraddha and Komal, for coming over. Delighted to have you here. Even more delighted to listen to your interesting and scintillating talk on and candid talk on your entrepreneurial journey, the highs and the lows. I'm sure each one of us has taken a leap from your journey failing is just one of the milestones, stepping stones to success. And your talk was inspiring, truly inspiring. And each one of us, most importantly, the students will take a leap from your journey, and we will have lots of entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs, launching their successful startups in days to come. Thank you so much. And thanks to all our...
Dr. Garima, you want to mention about IIC activities and accelerator program? Because just now Shraddha was telling there was not entrepreneurship, the subject on the entrepreneurship. But I just want to tell you there are so many initiatives now we are taking to just, motivate the students who are coming with the ideas. And Garima ma'am, you want to mention in detail for 2 minutes?
Yeah, so we have now an Institutional Innovation Council in place for the past 3 years, wherein we conduct a lot of activities. So we call successful entrepreneurs like you, alumni, to talk about their journeys, inspire our students, budding entrepreneurs, inspire them to, take on this innovation and entrepreneurship route. We also invite other players in the entrepreneurial ecosystem. So we have funders coming in. We also have, people from incubators, innovators coming in, talking about their journey. We invite government and regulators also to share their standpoint. So there's a lot happening. We also conduct activities. Most importantly, we conduct hackathons. And we have been hosting hackathons for 4 years consecutively, Smart India Hackathon, which is a national level hackathon. We've also organized international hackathons like NASA Hackathon, etc., which is a platform for our innovators at our institute, as well as we open it up for students from other institutes to showcase their innovations. So there's a lot happening. We organize competition, business land competition, etc. We have also organized IPR sessions because we want students to start thinking on the lines of IPR, going for filing of patents, etc. So these are some of the things which we are doing to build up a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship at the institute, and also to change the mindset of our students, who are just looking for corporate jobs. So it is an alignment with the regulators and the government's vision of Startup India and Make Up India, Made in India. All those we want it. It's thriving at WeSchool. We are doing a bit, and Institution Innovation Council is there, which is playing the role of a facilitator here. We also have a business accelerator program, wherein early on, as soon as a student enters the portals of our institute, we ask them to share their business idea. We help them nurture. So we are working as a true incubator there, getting them in touch with experts or with serial entrepreneurs, etc., to give them inputs, to refine their ideas, and to help them move from concept to commercialization. So these are some of the things which we are doing in our own small way. And thanks, when people like you come over, it gives a fillip to entrepreneurship at the institute, and it is also an opportunity for our students to interact live with people like you. And that when it comes from an alumnus, when alumni speak, there's a different take to it, and it resonates well with the institutes. So thank you so much for coming over, sharing your thoughts, sharing your journey, entrepreneurial journey. And it's inspiring. It's inspiring for faculty members, for staff. It's a delight. I'm for your faculty members to have you here, and of course the students, they have a lot to learn. So thank you for making your time available. Thank you. Thanks again.
Thank you.
A pleasure, man. Thank you so much. In fact, I remember that during our time there was this MIT Media Lab, which was a own kind of a and I was a part of it, where I got this opportunity to react with so many people. In fact, Dr. Ramesh Raskar is one of my mentors and my advisors for my company. So having known him now for so many years, now I can relate how important it is to to participate in these kind of activities that are always been there for us.
Great to hear you both. And yes, it is a proud moment for us. to host both of you and you sharing your journeys. And a very all the best for your venture. Do well so that I know both of you are getting awards every now and then, but I'm sure we're going to reach heights. So all the best to both of you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
both the speakers. Thanks, Dr. Anjali. Thanks, Dr. Prasad.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
Much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shraddha, and thank you, Komal, for the session.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our pleasure.
Maybe taking the group pic. Am I can request everyone, Bhagwati
Request
Prasad sir.
everyone to switch on the videos, please. We are taking a group. Yeah,
Thank you,
screenshots.
Komal, and thank you, Shraddha. Yeah, my videos come on now. It was disabled earlier. Thank you. We'll keep in touch. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
thank you,
Thank you so much.
both of you.
Thank you.
so much.
Bye.
Take care.